Hey everyone, welcome back to Quality Matters. I'm your hostess, Darcy Chambers.
I'm Kyle.
So while you guys have been hearing us and seeing us every week, we actually have not recorded in a while.
No.
Because we were fortunate enough to go to a couple of conferences at the end of the year and get a bunch of episodes recorded. So it feels a little weird to be back behind the mic.
It does, and it kind of took a little bit to get it set up today.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of problem.
Kyle's very particular about how things go.
Yeah, I should probably write a procedure on how to do this.
I think you've mentioned that before.
I may have, and I still ain't done it.
Episode.
See, we get it. Y'all have problems with that.
Okay. It's always easy to do it for somebody else.
Yes, it is. It is. Doing the work for your own organization is 10 times more difficult. I don't fully understand why, but it's heck.
So what I hear you saying is you might need a consultant to contact you to help you write procedures.
You might.
For our processes.
Yes. So if you're a podcast expert, let me know. I might could use your help.
Okay. Today's episode is real simple, and I always try to keep it simple because I can understand simple. And it's just about the varied industries that need quality management. And I've said
It's a small list, right? Real small? Okay.
I've said it so many times that I just didn't really realize what quality management was. And I think people don't realize what it impacts.
No, not at all.
And I am still learning, actually, what it impacts. And it was funny because, okay, so let me tell you how we got this list. We have, on our website, you can download some free forms.
Yep.
Kyle has those available to you, to whoever needs them.
It's just free stuff out there. There's really no catch, no gimmick.
Well, there is a catch.
We get
you have to enter your contact information, which we get, and I'll send you one email that says, hey, so you downloaded this. Can we help you any further? We'd love to help you out.
Yep.
And, you know, obviously, or maybe the people we're contacting don't know it, but we really are honest people. If Kyle calls you and you don't need us or we can't provide the service you need, we'll say, hey, sorry, can't do that for you, you know, let's move on.
I know when I was quality manager when I was first quality manager, I was dying to get any kind of free resource I could get my hands on because my company hadn't opened up the budget yet to do anything, and I needed freebies, so we've got some of what used to be my hardest things to find as freebies on the website.
And again, Kyle's background was IT.
Yes.
So just like most quality managers we've talked to, you go in with something else and then kind of get put into this quality management place. So you really have no idea. So what do you have, like 30 forms?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. For free. So Kyle sent me those contacts from the last 30, 60 days.
Yeah, about last 60 days.
To start contacting. And I... As I was going through them, he'd be at his computer working, I was at mine, and I'd be like, oh, wow, these people are blah, blah, blah. Oh, wow. And, of course, he's like, yep, just doing his work. But I find it fascinating, the variance. And we had a meeting with some potential partners a couple of days ago, and I had just made this list because I knew I wanted to do this episode. And they said, well, who are your clients? Who needs what you're selling? And I said, oh, well. And if you guys have listened at all to our podcast, you know I'm not very confident in this industry. And going to these meetings with Kyle, I kind of tend to keep my mouth shut and just listen. And then I'll throw in my 2 cents to Kyle after we leave and we're not in front of the people. But I spoke up real fast and quick because I said, I know. So we're just going to kind of go through this list. And Kyle can talk to some of it if he wants to or not if he doesn't.
If I want to talk?
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, I'll stop Kyle if he talks too much. I don't even know how to say this word. Process spectroscopy?
Spectrometry. See, I can't even say it myself. Spectrometry.
No,
that's probably
it's
the name.
scopy. It's not tometry. It's spectroscopy.
Yes, I fumbling over my mouth here.
If y'all know how to say it, send us an email and tell us how to say it.
In any case, it's kind of a science and practice of analyzing materials via the light wave emissions that come off of it. Because certain materials will reflect back certain wavelengths of light and absorb other wavelengths of light. So by analyzing the wavelengths of light that come back from the source material, you can identify what it's made of. This is great when you're dealing with certain gases or certain materials where destructive testing just isn't the best way to find out what it is. So you can pretty much, way more complicated, but pretty much shine a laser at it and see what's in it.
Okay, so that's a lot of fancy words. But to give you an idea, I looked at their website, and I'm not going to name any of these companies. I want to give anybody, but this company serves the agri industry, chemical, petrochemical, biotech, pharma, food and beverage, semiconductor, and that's all I had room to write down. So that's affecting, agriculture affects your food.
Oh, yeah.
And, chemical and petrochemical. Oh, my gosh.
Well, in the agriculture...
I heard somebody talking recently about petrochemicals. What was it? It was on a podcast I listened to. And it was a representative maybe from Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about petrochemicals. And that people just don't understand. And I didn't understand. And that's why I'm sharing this. Like, you say, no gas. We need to get rid of gasoline. And he said, we could run our world on solely solar power, but you still have to have petrochemicals. He said the people are calling for this no gas. He said, their granola bar was probably wrapped in a package that used petrochemicals. Their, sandals have petrochemicals. So, maybe maybe you don't, but
yeah,
petrochemicals am learning is in everything we use and do.
I would be hard pressed to find anything in this office that didn't have it chemically in it, much less, of course, that's where the world's energy supply comes from.
So, just that one company alone affects us all.
Oh, yeah. Well, you talk about agriculture, like they use this type of stuff to find if there are pesticides and toxins in the food we eat. So just all sorts of fun ways of stuff.
Yeah. So, number one company affects everyone.
Yeah.
So, if you think that quality management does not affect you, you're wrong.
It does.
Air separation technologies.
Oh yeah, this is fun stuff too. So there's a few ways that they can do it is maybe they've got filtration systems that absorb certain elements out of the air, or maybe they cool the air kind of like an air conditioner, but way larger, more powerful, more compressed, and the various gases in the air will form to a liquid at a certain temperature. And these are used for all sorts of applications, from when you go to the hospital and they give you oxygen. Well, the oxygen came from one of these air separation type places.
Okay, there you go. Coatings company.
Oh gosh, coatings is so much fun too. See, all this is fun. I love it all. I truly love it all. All sorts of different coatings applications. Coating can be a fancy word for paint, but you can also have, like the industry that I came from in the gas turbine world, we would have certain ceramic metallic coatings applied to these turbine components that could allow the components to be heated to 300, 400, 500 degrees higher than they would otherwise, and you can get more power, more efficiency out of your equipment.
Okay, there we go. The California delegation of the American Medical Association. Oh, I just named them. But, I thought that was cool. I don't know what they're using the form for, but they downloaded it.
It would be fun to know.
A metalworks company, which I think is pretty self-explanatory. A testing and research institute from Korea.
Very
cool. We have people from other countries downloading it for them. A QMS training school. Isn't that what we do?
Just a little bit, but you know what? Spread the love.
An acoustic solution company.
Oh, we looked that up. That is really cool.
Yeah.
They use to make these different foam and insulation systems for their sound rooms to just completely absorb all the noise. It's very cool.
So again, music, probably video production.
Yep.
You can listen to any of that. Some qualities involved. A production company. I liked this one. A pretty big transportation safety product company. So of course I looked that up, and it's all the, especially if you're in Texas, it's all the barrels and cones and signage you see when you have the road work being done. The guardrails, they do all of it.
Well, how many times have you seen these guardrails smashed but not broken? I mean, that's just testament to the quality there. So it kept someone from getting injured worse than they would have.
So again, that's something that affects everybody.
It does.
We all drive or we ride in a car, we get from A to B, so that affects everybody.
Amen.
A carbon company says they were in aerospace, automobile, energy, storage, wind industry, and I have ... So again, I ran out of room.
Well, different carbon composites are used, just about anywhere. I mean, anytime you want to make something strong and lightweight, you're going to use some type of a carbon composite.
Well, there you go. Two IT solutions companies
Which is
selling some forms.
Very cool as well. I mean, they have their own processes. You've got ISO 27001 for IT security. I mean, well, yes, that's way different than like the 9001 that's used for manufacturing type facilities mostly, or API that's used for these oil and gas production. The process is the same. You're going to have suppliers. They need to have approval. You need to conduct an audit, and there's just so many ways you can do this.
Okay, well, there you go. Another medical company, and I wasn't really sure what they do because I'm not in the medical field, but it talked something about anti-proteins and host cell DNA detection. So I don't know what they're doing, but they needed one of our forms.
I'd love to learn. Hey, call us up. We'll come by. Just let us learn.
Another medical company that was involved in wound care, wellness, and medical device fixation.
Oh, yeah. That's ISO 1345 is medical devices.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you have any type of component that is going to stay inside someone's body, you have to have a 1345 certification. This could be like your hip replacement, or maybe the pins that they put in after you break a bone.
Really? That's what it means by medical device fixation?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought it meant like tools that were
No, this is stuff they put in inside your body and it stays
like
there.
The surgical equipment,
it's
like the overhead lights.
Fixed to your body.
Oh. See, I learned something. Okay, alright, so that's cool. So then that explains, because then there was another medical company.
I'm detecting a pattern here. Maybe we need to hit a different market.
Sale, service, and repair of surgical medical instruments and devices.
Ooh.
So, again, you ever been to a hospital and had surgery? Those implements, come from a company that have a quality management system, or hopefully.
Well, hopefully do, yeah. Well, I mean, just think about in a workplace. I mean, you take a measurement. You want to know that your measurement equipment's correct. So you make sure to get it checked at least once a year, generally speaking. But I mean, my gosh, think about some of these instruments that they have for surgical operations. I mean, I can't even comprehend the minute detail of things that need to be checked.
Well, I mean, don't they call for a certain size scalpel or a certain size?
Yeah.
And you gotta know it's right.
Yeah, or on all these various monitors that they plug up to you. You don't know what each one of those little lead wires does. You just know someone else knows what it does.
Well, and I would assume that a hospital, it would be beneficial for them to go for an ISO certification because they need to check their suppliers, or at least have their suppliers be certified.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of federal regulations around it, but I agree. You overlay kind of a higher level management system to it, then you can treat all of those legal requirements that you have from state, city, federal, even international requirements, and all these other organizations around the world, where you can start to treat those as various interested parties, and you can find the ways that they align and intermingle with one another.
I think it would be interesting because we've never come across, and I haven't really researched much, so it's not really a fair statement, but a hospital that is ISO certified, and that wouldn't be 13485.
No, that's more of the individual manufacturing locations.
So that would be like a 9001.
There may be
their processes.
There may be something out there I just don't know about yet.
But it seems that they are at least requiring their suppliers, because we do get a lot of inquiry on the medical device.
This is
We've
correct.
got inquiry about auditing the 13485. I even know the standard number because we have been asked.
Yeah.
Lots of times. So it seems that the hospitals are at least requiring their suppliers.
Hey, honestly, if anyone listening knows someone, we would love just to come check it out, learn a little bit about what you do.
At the hospital level.
Yeah, the hospital level.
How does that happen?
Yeah, that would be great.
Machining. I'm sure a lot of our listeners know what machining is. You want to explain it a little bit?
Well, I mean, it could be anything from a drill press to, they've got VBMs, kind of these vertical boring machines, or a VTL vertical turret lathe, and all that is just a big machine that can cut different grooves and patterns out of the material as it spins around. And I had fun helping to rebuild one of these once upon a time. So we had this 1940s model, and the steel on it was 2 and 3 times as thick of anything you would buy today. And then we overpowered the engine on it, or not the engine, the motor on it, so that we can get as much torque on it as we needed without fear of it breaking apart.
Sounds not safe.
We made it safe.
Okay. A commercial printing company.
Yeah.
Prints. I mean.
Well, think about the toner in your printer. Like how fine-tuned those inks and dyes have to be to get that precise, exact color every time.
See, things that I wouldn't think about. An engineering company out of the UK.
That's very cool.
Another country. Sucker Rod Manufacturing. Again, I'm sure most of our listeners know what sucker rod is.
Yeah.
I think it's something to do with the oil industry.
Yeah. Longer conversation there, but it's
Sucks
just
the oil up?
Sort of. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. A cannabis extraction company has downloaded our forums.
That's very cool. All sorts of stuff.
Aerosol and liquid product manufacturing. An educational association. I couldn't really... I was trying to look for more information, and the best I could find is that it helps disadvantaged kids. You know, I'm passionate about the education, so
Yep.
I was glad to see that they were downloading some
Now,
of our stuff.
We may have mentioned this before, but I don't think most of our listeners realize that's where you come from.
I think we've talked about it before, yeah. I taught for 9 years. I have a master's in educational administration.
And
so.
you had your principal's certificate. Never did it, but you
That's
could
what
have.
I just said. I had a master's in educational administration.
Well, that doesn't mean you have the licensing to be a principal. That's this whole other separate thing.
I do. So. Anyways, I thought that was cool. Another tool in engineering, some lift systems, a tracking company, and so they, I guess they produce, I probably should have made better notes, but transmitters, GPS, satellites, receivers, antennas, and what I thought was cool was dam maintenance.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
So, lots of different things. And then lastly, I know I mentioned a training school, a QMS training school. 5 of our downloads were from other auditors or contract managers.
I love it. I do. I don't even get mad about it. So I think it's a testament to what we do. Not that we're trying to initially promote our business here, but I think it's a testament to what we do that, that frequently, other folks that are in competition with us, looking at what we've got. But honestly, it's a huge market, as we just made the case. Yeah. It is a huge market. So I really don't care. I mean, it's flattering to me.
I agree, and I think it's flattering especially because Kyle's very passionate about quality. He's very passionate about details. And so when it comes to forms, not just any form will do. If he asks me to make something, I send it to him and I say, I know you're going to not like it. I know you're going to change it, but there's the information you asked for. And in the same meeting that I mentioned earlier, I don't know how it came up, but he talked about, forms and how important they are. And he said, when you first look at a page, you look to the left about 23% of the way down. So he creates forms to be very visually aesthetically pleasing and engaging so that people will want to fill them out.
Yep.
So, when people download our forms, I'm sure most of the time it's out of necessity, but then I feel like maybe they look at it and say, wow, this is a really easy form.
Well, and not only that, but we build them in older style Microsoft Word and Excel documents, so they're really easy to edit, very compatible. If you don't have the latest and greatest, it's not a problem. And yeah, the goal is that someone will take these and slap their logo on them and use them as a template. We're A-okay with that.
So, to answer our potential partner's question, who's your client? Everyone.
Yeah, it's truly could be anyone.
And I shared again the case study that we did very early on with our podcast about the school district because that's the one, I've said it a number of times on here that as soon as Kyle started explaining what he did, I said, oh man, school districts need that. And it's something that, those of you that are in the industry and are in quality management maybe wouldn't think of.
Right.
So this truly affects everyone in their daily life. Even if you don't understand it, don't know what it is, it really affects you.
It does. It does. There's no aspect of our modern world that's not affected by quality management systems. And that is a great transition because I want to make a shameless plug for something we're doing.
I bet I know what you're going to plug.
Yes. So we have a QMS boot camp. This is a quality management system boot camp. It's designed for really anyone that's thrown into the role of a quality manager, your operations manager, your production team leads. Really doesn't matter which position you're in because in some way or another, you're impacted by quality. So we've got on April 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th, a 5-day event. We're going to go through all the fundamentals of quality management. How do you implement and build that system as a team? How do you maintain it once you get it there? And Lord knows you're going to have to integrate it with your health and safety, environmental systems, and various other standards that we've obviously touched on here. And then the 5th day of it's a lot of fun. We did a podcast with Dr. Rob Pennington. And so he is going to be speaking on day 5. And part of the tagline of his speech is trying to show other people how you're right. So, but through effective communication. So definitely check it out, qmsbootcamp.com, or just leave a comment. Anywhere you hear this, we'll let you know more.
Yeah, and when you go to the qmsbootcamp.com, I think it directs you to the Eventbrite page,
Yes.
which is where we have got the ticket sign up for you guys. It's going to be at the Cannon in the Energy Corridor. And I'll be arranging the food, so you'll know it'll be good. We'll have, lunches provided every day. If you have any questions, contact us. I'd like to see you there.
That's it.